The beer cold though? That's for real.
Maiden style. You got to celebrate the
You've got it. You've got to celebrate.
And then so I've seen bits, and I know that you've always got that hat on.
Oh, but look, we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
What you doing?
And we're live again. Welcome to the Bogey Boys Podcast.
That was so much better than that time, wasn't it? that eerie noise.
How are we, mate?
Don't know why I get so nervous over that bit, you know.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm more nervous than you were in the first tee.
Do you know what, right? I was
Saturday.
just about to say there, right? I've got my whoop on, and look, 65. My heart rate is 167 on that first tee.
What an experience.
Yeah, there it is, look. Absolute spike.
You've peaked there, haven't you?
Oh, my word.
A few more spikes for your treble bogey as well.
Oh, my God. Yeah. A few more spikes I wanted to do you in.
Well, let's talk about it then. What a day.
Oh, mate. It was one to tell the grandkids that you've done it. So if my handicap goes up now, which it's looking like, and I can't get in next year at least.
At least you've been there.
On it just turning up the whole day, wasn't it? Like even getting
proper
there,
setup.
like you get your scorecard, you get your little number, you can't I was looking for the bib for you, weren't I? But didn't have any. The just getting the Pro Vs on the range, like getting your name called. Yeah. Just everything was just.
Did that enhance the fear, did it?
Well, it enhanced the fear, but then looking back at it, enhanced the experience as well. Do you know what I mean? Of like, that's what it's like. Yeah. You know, that's what the boys are feeling on tour.
Definitely, yeah. And we got off to a good start as well.
Well, not really, like me too. I went on the 9th fairway.
We got away with that one.
Yeah. But that's it. But once, when I was nervous, and I was thinking loads, and we were having major conversations over every shot.
Yeah, yeah.
It was all good, wasn't it? Like we were cruising.
That's why we were on the clock.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. Now that wasn't my fault. That was
mine.
No, that was we were looking for them two lads' balls, weren't we, on the 5th?
Yeah, and it slowed
and
us
then
up a bit.
That slowed us up, and then we got a penalty, but then everyone gets penalised. We'll come on to that in the birdie bogey bust section.
Okay, no worries, yeah.
But it's once the nerves wore off, that's when it all started going wrong, man. When I stopped thinking, started reacting, getting annoyed with my score. It was only 3 over. Yeah. And then I've made a bad bogey on 13 because of the wrong club choice by the Caddie.
Let's talk us through this then, right? So what have you got? You've got 129. You've got the world right. You've got the world behind you.
I know. And wind behind me.
You do a lockout duck hook left with the pitching wedge. Dead. And that was it. Your head just completely fell off.
That was it. Driver 4 right onto the 13th, wedge over. Didn't even speak to you for the next 3 holes. I was just snowballing. Treble. Yeah. I was saying there's double treble with the same ball as well. It's embarrassing, isn't it? And then I lost that ball after 16th tee. And then I was my second ball, made the birdie, and then a par in. So it all finished quite well.
Take the with your second ball, yeah.
But now like I was saying to you, like I've got 15, 14 holes of tournament golf in me, but I've got no fight back.
I think what I noticed from it was you just, as soon as you hit that bad shot on 13. We could even probably go back to 10. Yeah. You sort of just let 1 or 2 bad shots because you were 1 over after 9 and level par got into a playoff, didn't it? Yeah. So you've only got 9 holes to play. You're more than capable of shooting 1 under there. Yeah. And then you've gone bogey, 10, 11, and your head's just completely fell off.
I know, but you know what I think it is? It's like Hayden was telling me a couple of weeks ago, and it's like with golf in general, you're constantly spinning plates. So obviously you work on your chipping, you work on your putting, your lag putting goes, you work on that, your long game goes, you're hitting the driver well, your irons go. It's like you put it all together. And I put so much emphasis on staying out the rough off the tee and keeping my ball in play that when I got to my ball and it was in play, I forgot me swinging to get it to the green.
Yeah, but the rough wasn't that bad though.
No, they cut it back actually a lot. I was surprised with that. I wonder if the rain had anything to do with it because it would have been well too hard to get out of. I don't actually know what the choice. Weird.
No, but I think as well, you said, didn't you, had a practice round a couple of days
like
before, and it was like a car park. We spoke about that, didn't we?
And it was soft as anything, wasn't it? It was receptive.
So it just changed the whole game plan.
Like three chip shots I hit, didn't I? You was like landed there. I was thinking if I landed there, it's going off the back, and I landed a little bit short, just stopped up, and I was like, what?
How's that happened? Yeah,
I know, but
it's all a learning experience.
No, it is. It was amazing.
Anyway, mate.
Even just seeing Whittaker on the not the leaderboard, like on the starters board, it was it was great. I loved it. Yeah, but a few of the boys got through, didn't he? Paul Kinnear, a lad who Dave's teaches, Christian and Peter Scott as well. And a couple of lads from your place as well, didn't he?
Yeah, young Jack got through, and George Holland as well. Sick. Both got through, and they played on the Sunday. But yeah, so looking forward to seeing how everyone does. John, the two lads we play with got through as well.
Yeah, John Carroll and Will Simmons. Will Simons, was it? Will Simmons?
Yeah, Simons, yeah, one of them.
But Mikey McKeown, podcast listener, probably listening now, told me that Charles Schwartzel and Jamie Donaldson are playing final qualifying at West Lancashire. So I was like, I've told everyone it's going to be tough that with them. You 2 spots are gone, aren't they, with them 2 European Tour beasts coming? I've just looked at them starting. They're not even playing.
Not playing.
What is he talking about?
The big boys do come now, though.
That's the challenge. Artisans whisper that. Yeah, and a couple of Toby Tree
Mansell's there as well. Not at West Lancs, but he's at this stage in qualifying. I think who was telling me, I think it's the top
Hollandwell, is it?
Yeah, Hollandwell, the top 1,500 in the world go straight through to final qualifying. Yeah, you don't have to do the pre-qualifying. But this is 2 rounds, and then it's only the top 3 in the day go through from each
it's a grind,
venue.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you think of the talent, but look at Kinnear there, shot 5 under. He led the whole day. Another one of them, and 2 rounds. Yeah, 5-6 under is probably going to do the job. Mate, you think?
When I played with Kinnear, he shot 5 under. When we were having something tweets afterwards, he said, "Hey, 3 of them, and I'll be in the Open." And I was texting there. There's one down.
One down, 2 to go. Yeah,
2 to go over there.
No, we do. We wish them all the best of luck. The experience was amazing, mate.
Boss, wasn't it?
It was good to see. I was just gutted that your head completely rolled off.
I know. I turned an average. I could have grinded. That was a 75 there. I just turned into an 82 for just no reason.
It was never an 82
whatsoever.
No, never an 82. But we live and we learn, don't we? And that's the main thing.
Do. I think how nervous I was and how big that tournament felt. Like going to a Northern Order of Merit, where I'd usually be quite nervous because they're new to me. That hopefully will feel a bit of a doddle now.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, you should. You'll learn loads from it.
Playing in them outside events, like I was saying last week, it's a different gravy to play in your club comp. So it's just boss. It's a
good buzz. You meet new people as well. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, we're speaking to the lads that we met there.
He's a beast, isn't he?
Yeah, he stripes it.
How far is he?
I know, really good. Even when he got himself out of position, his recovery shots were unreal, weren't he?
When he had 267 into the 8th and just put it like 24th and just knocked it in. I was like, "How have you made birdie there?" And I'm struggling for par. Yeah. Great though, what a day!
Unbelievable, no, what a day! What a day! We'll be back again next year, hopefully.
That's it. Well, yeah, of course, yeah. I want you to be playing there next year as well.
We'll see. I'm going the other way. That's the problem.
I know, yeah.
But on the Open qualifying, the R&A have announced that there's extra spots open. So the Irish Open this week, the top 3 that have not already qualified and not already exempt to play, they're gonna get in the Open. And
so there's loads to play for like
the next 2 challenges. That's why in Mikey's defence, maybe
Donaldson's pulled out.
Yeah, Donaldson and Schwartzel were due to play that, but they're going to try the look at the Irish Open instead. You never know.
Is Schwartzel even playing the Irish Open? In Mikey's defence. I know Donaldson is definitely 1,000,000%.
Yeah, but that's it. And talking about other, obviously, amateurs playing in big events. We had the Amateur Championship.
Yeah.
A record as well. Laird Shepherd was 8 down through the first 17 holes and come back to winning the playoff.
Well, the lad in Formby Hall, Mike Manser, he took you to Wallasey. Yeah. It's his mate who was 8 up.
Was it?
And he's like, my mate was 8 up in the amateur there, and he's just lost in a playoff. And I was like, what? That's heavy.
Has he spoke to him or anything
about it? I think he knows him well. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's like, I haven't really asked
him. I mean, did he get any feedback off?
Oh, no. Do you know what? I didn't really pay any attention to it until like I just realised that it was that.
It was this, yeah. Big win, though. That gets you
in the Masters, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some major events. So there you go. Another talking point I want to come on to before we move on to the golf that just happened is the Olympics.
Yeah.
We've got the Olympics teams now finalised.
I had them. There we go.
Yeah, coming in. The only one change from this list is I know Rafael Cabrera Bello. He's pulled out now.
Yeah,
Adrian House has come in. What's your whole view on players pulling out? Because remember we spoke to me a couple of months back about DJ wanting to prioritise. I know Cabrera Bello has come out and he said I want to prioritise FedEx and things ahead of this. What do you think?
I just think it's once every 4 years. So if you pump now and you're playing and you've got a chance to win a gold medal, I think you should go and do it. Yeah. I know DJ can. Has he already got a gold medal?
No,
I know because Rose won it, didn't he?
Won it, yeah, it was Rose. Stenson got the silver and Makucha got the bronze. So
all right, then DJ hasn't got one then. But going forward, he should really be looking at that, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should. Well, I think the way I look at it is because there's no legacy there. Because the one that was that Justin Rose won was the first one in like 130 years or something.
But so the legacy will come, won't
Well, that's what I'm saying. The legacy will come, but there's no legacy there now. So I don't know where the priorities lie at the moment, because Tyrrell Hatton didn't for one reason or another didn't play, and that's why Tommy's got in as well, isn't he?
Well, I was speaking to Finno in the car park the other day at Form BR, and he was saying like Tommy jumped at it.
Yeah,
and Finno was even telling Tyrrell to like you need to be going for it. You should be. It's a gold medal. It's a chance to represent. Yeah, it's boss.
Just to beat 60 players, haven't you? Yeah, well that's it. The format. I was having a look at the format there. It's a 72-hole stroke play event, so it's like any other 4-day tournament.
You're beat 60 players. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, there's no cut. 60 players. It's hosted at the Casa Muyagasi Country Club.
I'm glad you said that word.
We'll fact check that. Forgot that right. Par 71, just over 7,200 yards they'll be playing. So it's what they're used to.
It's like a PJ Tour length, isn't it?
That's it. They're going to be playing with the same players. You've seen there's 4 Americans in the team, and people may be wondering why that is.
Yeah, why is that?
So you've got the top 15 ranked players in the world are the ones who qualify. Yeah. You can only have a maximum of 4 players from each country. So because there's so many stacked in the top 15 from America, the top 4 ranked players will get in. DJ's decided not to play, so that's why the next 4 are the ones who take that spot. And then outside of that, it's just the top ranked players outside of the top 15 for each country will then get the call.
I see, right.
So that's how it works, yeah. But I just thought, it's worth mentioning how the teams are finalised.
It'd be good as well, won't it? Like, something to watch, isn't it? Like, while it's on.
Another 4-day tournament, yeah. And then the women's is the following week then. I'm not sure whether theirs has been finalised yet, the teams.
But yeah, as far as the pulling out, what would you do?
Oh, I'd play 1,000,000%.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, because I know I understand maybe what they're saying, concentrate on FedEx points, and obviously he's got Cabrera Bayo, maybe I can understand his justification, but DJ, he's prioritising, he said I'm prioritising the WGC St. Jude and the Open. So, all right, yeah, but it's not the same.
What's Cabrera Bayo talking about? Concentrating on the FedEx?
So like I think he just wants to get his card and stay over on
I see. Like he wants to
in the FedEx ranking. So if he finishes in the top so many,
thought he meant he's concentrating on taking it down.
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Speaking of the Olympics, right? Have you ever held a medal?
No.
I've held a silver one in your hand.
How have you got hold of that?
Victor won one. Victor Nichibi.
Did he?
Yeah, for Nigeria, he got a silver medal.
Oh yeah,
against Argentina. Yeah,
amazing.
And he brought it around. I was like, held it.
Heavy
weight of it.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Good. Did you ever wear them with you've all got loads on? I can't. How their necks are taking them. The weight of it. But yeah, it's boss just to have. You've got it forever. Like it's million% play.
Yeah, I think just at the moment, looking at it, the fact that they're prioritising FedEx points and other tournaments indicates to me that they're not. It reminds me a bit of, at the beginning of the Ryder Cup when nobody could really be asked.
Yeah.
And then now it's like a massive event. It's
nice.
like now the Olympics is a bit like, do a go, don't a go. But I think 20, 30 years time, 40 years, when we've had 10 of them and there's a legacy there, everyone will be jumping at the opportunity to go. And I think they might regret passing that opportunity up.
Yeah, but I wonder if like it was in America, it'd be a different story for DJ if it was around the corner.
1,000,000%.
If he didn't have to go to Japan.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's the travel, isn't it? It's the jet lag. It's the getting back and the and that's what he's saying about the tournaments that are being played at that time. So it'd be interesting just to see.
Who were you fancying winning?
Oh, John Ram.
Ah, yeah.
John Ram. Providing
shock! Like world number 1, just won US Open champion. Like, come on.
Well, providing he's still not getting drunk. Did you see the video of him?
Where he was drinking the thing and then it's the golf ball. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Oh my word, that was unreal.
I think he's some boy, isn't he?
Sick, that, isn't it?
Providing he's still not drinking, I think he's got a great chance, yeah.
Well, I've seen him putting his baby in the trophy and everything. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
It's sick,
it's amazing, isn't it? But it just shows how much these type of tournaments mean to them, because Phil was the same, driving around with the trophy in the buggy, wasn't he? When he was turning up places, talking about it all the time.
Especially his first one there that he's won, and especially out in the manner that he won it, like from the week before. Like it's just
what a man.
It was unbelievable.
What a man. But no, I'm looking forward to it. The 29th of July is the date, so I think it's about 4 weeks away. and then we get to enjoy the Olympics. Another different tournament for us to watch.
Well, just in case you weren't going to ask me, I fancy Tommy.
Who do you fancy? Yeah?
I fancy Tommy to take it down.
Do you think? Yeah, it'd be amazing if he does.
Yeah, sick.
It'd be so good. It'd be so good.
Especially with him getting in like that and like Hatton dropping out and that. I fancy Tommy.
I just think Ram wins US Open, Olympic gold medal, Ryder Cup. What a year.
British Open. The Open, sorry.
I know, stop calling it that.
I don't know why I do that.
Right, Travellers Championship.
Yeah.
I love the finish, me.
It was boss tournament all around, wasn't it?
Yeah. Harris English. What a playoff.
Putt that was, though, to get in the playoff. And you, as you always want passion. You want passion. It was back,
and that's
wasn't it?
one thing he did give, wasn't it? As soon as that putt went in, it's just right on through. Yeah, loved it.
Whose blow up do you reckon was better, mine or Bubba's?
Oh, yours. 1,000,000% yours, yeah.
Oh my word.
But like you say, it's one shot, isn't it? We spoke about your shot on 13, didn't we?
And then it snowballs.
And then and it snowballs. That's exactly Bubba.
But Bubba actually got away with loads on 13, didn't he? Like he hit it down, it just missed the fairway, it got bounced back on. Then he hit a tree, it bounced just short of the green, makes par. And then his meltdown started.
Well, yeah, the same thing happened. He blocked another one on 14. It hits the tree again, comes down. He could put it because he missed the sprinkler heads, then doesn't hit it. Then he knocks the next one in the water on 15, and it just went from bad to worse. And he finished, was it 6 over in his last 5 holes? And
it's horrible to see as well because he was going for like all sorts of records. When he'd just come out about his mental health and that, and now he's loving golf.
Yeah,
he's asked Nelly Korda does he want to be a mental coach? So they both could have won on the same day.
That would have been amazing.
And then it would have been his fourth Travellers as well.
Fourth Travellers as well. And I think this all stems back to when the driver snapped off the.
I was thinking if the driver snaps, he's making birdie. I thought it's his week.
Yeah, it's written in the stars for him. Yeah,
it is. Look at that.
Go, yeah. It was unbelievable to see. Normally if the head cracks or the head comes off, but that literally snapped off the shaft.
But it carried 265.
The drive, I know. I think the head wasn't too far behind it. See how far it went.
Nicola's seen that and she goes, "Oh, look at that! It's pink with Bubba on. Why don't you get a pink one with Kevin?"
Because you don't hit a 320 down the middle every time.
I said, "You're all right, love."
Yeah, I'll stick to what I've got. Stick to me sim.
But back to Harrison and Kramer.
Yeah, well, interesting about Kramer. Obviously, he went to college with Speed, didn't he? Shared the house, so it's interesting to see their two journeys as they went through. Obviously, similar abilities if they're playing in the same golf team.
Well, definitely, yeah.
He actually caddied for Speed at the 2011 AT&T at Byron Nelson. Really, really close mates. But then we know Speed's burst onto the scene. Kramer's took a sort of a different route. He's won twice on the Mackenzie Tour. And won once on the Corn Ferry Tour, and he's got wins in 16, 17, and 18. So it's interesting to see that. Like
he just never got to that next level fast enough.
Yeah, well, we get on the professional route, don't we? We talk about that steady progression. Some of them get tired of it, money runs out, and they don't carry on, and then others will just keep going and keep going. It seems like he's got to a place now where he's done his grind on the lower tours. He's got his victories and now he's reaping the rewards. And he was just so unlucky. A couple of lip outs in the playoff, wasn't he?
I know. Mm-hmm. But English sort of had the same thing, didn't he? He burst onto the scene when he left college, and then he was thinking he was going to be a world beater. And then I think he won early on, and he didn't win for years until 8 years, wasn't it? Until this year.
Yeah.
So remember his interview when he won the last one that he won, and he was saying about job security.
Yeah, it
and
was.
We were talking about Hudson Swafford about it as well, saying it's massive. Like he gets to plan his thing. He's got 3 years job security. So now another win for him.
Yeah,
that's got to set him up, hasn't it?
Well, he becomes the 5th player now to win twice in this year. Obviously with Cantley, Bryson, Sink, and the last one. Can't remember who the last one was, but he's the only player to win twice in this calendar year, 2021, because he won the Kapalua Champions event, didn't he?
Yeah.
In Hawaii, and then obviously he's won this one today. But I stayed up and watched it, like blinking. My eyes were all over the place, like because it was on late, but I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was unbelievable.
It was boss, but it just the way he kept doing the same 2 holes, like it was a bit.
I know 17 is not exactly easy.
No, I know, but that's what they were hoping. They were probably hoping that it was going to be
someone goes in the water.
Yeah, it was dealt with, but
yeah,
it just, you know what I mean, over and over and over. Like I just think
constantly hole and putts. Though, I mean, did you see?
No,
like,
I know, yeah, but
I think what was it? In the first 5 holes, I think, or the first 4 or 5 holes, Harris English had held like 20-footer putts, and Kramer Hickok held like 26-foot putts from like 6 foot. They kept knocking them far past and knocking them in. It's just like going to the next one. But I agree. I think taking them to somewhere like 15.
Yeah.
Where there's it's a risk. That's the risk reward hole. You can drive it onto the green, so you're guaranteed a bird. You'll look what
and it's and it's entertainment for the people.
100%, yeah. And they can easily get over there. Why? What do you not?
Well, I've got like a little thing about it. I think after it's done, they've done 2 rounds of the 2 holes that are set up by the PGA Tour. They should put the favourite 2 holes in an envelope, have a coin flip, and then whoever wins, they go to them 2 holes. And then, so if I pick like 1 and 4, take us there, we play 1, we play 4, so I'm to my backyard, and then you pick 2 holes.
Yeah, when you get to
that, yeah. I know it's a bit of a logistical nightmare for the cameras and all that, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Or use,
do you get what I mean? Though, like,
or use on 18. Wait there, we're just going to 6.
Like, I don't know. I just thought that it seemed like a good idea.
It does sound like a good idea, yeah. But I suppose not many go to an 8-hole playoff, do they? I think there was the last time there was a 7-hole playoff was back in 2001. Tiger Woods and then Furyk, Firestone, yeah.
Hey, well, speaking of playoffs, in the Open Qualifying, there was a 19-man playoff at St. Anne's.
Surely they don't go down in a 19 ball.
Well, I seen them in a 5 ball.
I seen that picture.
Like, there was 5 balls on the green. I was like, surely 19 shots didn't come into here on the round before.
I wonder how that. Maybe that's why it took so long. So maybe they do. I don't know, do 4 or 5 balls or something. And then what do they have to wait at the end for everybody to finish the hole to decide who goes out and then start again? That must be the only way they can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the crack is.
Because they all have to go out and play. So,
well, that West Lancashire's a bit easy, wasn't it? Because there was an 9-man playoff for 8 spots.
Yeah.
But so I don't know how that works.
Just whoever gets the lowest score, you don't have to carry on in the playoff until one's out.
Oh, imagine making that bogey, man. You'd be devastated, wouldn't it? But yeah, I got so confused. I have to look into that. What the playoff format of that?
Yeah, because they're not going to go out to 19 tee shots and then be a nightmare if 19 people at the fairway. Just mark that while I hit this for us. Oh, I'm in a divot now. No, but I enjoyed the Travellers. I really enjoyed the finish. You got obviously the drivable par 4, and then you got the lake, you got the par 3, which was causing problems with that tight pin. Then the tight fairway on 17, and then the tight pin on 18. Do you know, talking about that tight pin on 18, I really thought we were going to see a carbon copy of Spieth with him being his best mate. When he does the jump.
Oh, the jump with his back. Yeah, that was sick.
That is sick. The same pin, obviously, and literally the pretty much same position, the bunker. I thought if he chips in, he just missed it. I was like, oh, that was just asking to happen. That.
Mate, when you're watching that golf, right, and you're watching that course, and you're thinking, all right, there's a couple of low scores out, but 58.
Well, yeah,
doesn't seem to be out there, does it?
No, well, that's what I was thinking. I'm surprised with the 13 under being the winning score, because Jim Furyk shot 12 under in one round, and that was only 5 years ago.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
So yeah, maybe I don't know the reason.
When it's you're hot, aren't you?
You're hot. That's it. Yeah, but he's up to 2nd in the race to Dubai now. Harris English and up to world number 12. So knocking on the Ryder Cup door, isn't he?
God, of course.
Because at the beginning of the season, I know he won the Tournament of Champions, but when you're looking at the top 12 American players, you probably put him outside it, wouldn't you? Really, but
yeah.
He's definitely knocking on the door, isn't he? At 31.
Of course, yeah, 1,000,000%. Yeah. And if you get the captain's picks or whatever, like, obviously you've got to count him in, haven't you?
That's it. I just feel like
2-time winner. It's like,
just feel like
clutch moments.
They're just asking for Ricky Fowler to have a captain's pick. No, they got his pick in there.
Come on.
I know. I just feel it going that way.
Yeah, well,
because he's not going to make it off his own right, is he? So
yeah,
having a character around the team.
No, will be Ricky's boss, and he can raise his game, can't he? So it is thingy. But if you've got a man that's won twice, be a bit of a taste in your mouth, wouldn't it? If you didn't get in.
Yeah, Stricker's problem, not ours.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just talk about it. Talking about champions.
Nelly
Korda. I posted something on the story there.
Frightening her statistics lately.
Do you think she's the best player on the planet at the minute?
1,000,000%.
Like, better. So say you've got a match now, John Ram versus Nelly Korda, same tees. They go out and play.
Same tees is the problem, in it, because she's making all these birdies, but she did 1,000 yards ahead.
They were both 6'8" this week, weren't they? I know the par was slightly different, so they get an extra shot or whatever, but they were both still 6'8". I
suppose. But if the men were playing that Atlanta Athletic Club, they'd be up 7-2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I suppose there's that argument, yeah. But when you look at her statistics, she's 22 years of age. She's just won back-to-back, by the way, her first major championship. She's now the first American #1 since 2014.
She's unbelievable. And I think she's the best player in the world right now on current form. But I don't think that she beat John Rahm 1-on-1.
No.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's an interesting debate because if you look at the percentage of birdies, I've seen a statistic, 35 birdies in 77 holes. That's a percentage of 45%. It doesn't matter what tees you're off. Or
but it does though, doesn't it? Because if you're hitting wedging over a 7-iron, it's you more chance of making birdies more with the wedge, isn't it? For every player.
I don't know. I think it's 6-8 though, and 6-6. You're not always hitting wedging, are you?
But that 77 holes went back to the week before as well.
And that was 6-5, was it?
Yeah, pitch and putt.
But I had a little look back at the statistics there. 200 birdies and 9 eagles this season over 42 rounds of golf. So you can say what you like about your wedge game, but
that's around about 3.61722 bit of holes per birdie. But it's a birdie.
You've been doing a bit of research.
I just googled it, divided it, but it's a birdie every 3.5 holes. Enough.
And this is my point.
That's madness.
This is my point. You know what I mean? She's doing things that like this is Annika Sorensen stuff.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see because we did.
Yeah, but people come in flashes as well. So
I was going to say that obviously Spieth burst on the scene. Remember Rory winning the majors by 8 shots, and these things happen. Then slowly they go away. Whereas the legends like your Tiger Woodses and your Annika Sorensens, they stay around forever. But I'm just thinking, ages on her side. She's now got that first major. She's winning every week. She's up there every week. She's 10th in driving distance on the tour, so she doesn't exactly hit it short.
No,
the green in regulation for the whole season's at 75%. So
the bar, when you just think about Tiger, the bar's just too high, isn't it? Like the bar's well too high. Like
we just exclude him. He's in a world of his own.
Like Tiger, like Rory coming on the scene, Spieth coming on the scene, doing these amazing things. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is. Yeah,
they're solid, amazing golfers who are doing amazing things, but then they're just not living up to the bar that's been set by Tiger, which is just ridiculous.
The bar is too high. Yeah,
it's too high, and it needs to he's lower than that.
It does, yeah. And when you think of the talents as well, like you've got, I know we've talked about there 5 2-time champions on the PGA Tour this season so far, but it is pretty much a different winner. Jason Cochrack was the other one I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
They were every week. There's a different winner, pretty much.
Exactly.
So
and
competition.
Tiger was going through spurts of winning 7 in a row.
By 7 though.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time. Yeah.
Non-contest.
Some of them are majors with a few like travellers through in the back for the crack.
But no, she comes from a very sporty family. I had a little look. I didn't know this about her. I've seen a couple of people posting saying that like the family is very sporty. Obviously, we know a sister, don't we, who plays on the LPGA tour with her.
Lost little hug on it with a sister. She was going off on one, and her sister was coming around.
Great relationship. They always travel together. You see them doing the posts on the Instagram and things. And
as you would, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But her brother plays professional tennis. He's at Wimbledon this week, playing at Wimbledon. Yeah. And then mother and father were former professional tennis players as well. Her dad actually got to world #2 and won the Australian Open, which is a major. Yeah. So obviously Nelly's the first Korda now to get to a world #1 spot. So it'd be a nice bit of banter to take back to the house.
That's boss, that though, isn't it? It was a bit disappointing for I thought Patty Tavatanica could have. She shot 2 over final round. I thought you could have come out with it because she had a 65 or 64 on the Saturday.
Yeah,
I thought you would have come out with a
stormer. But
it's
always difficult to go 64 though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, as with the 9-shot rule, as we know. And Charlie Hull as well, who had a great show in the first round.
Yeah,
and then,
time for the lead or one back.
I was watching an interview and I had up, I was listening, I was like, and she's like, oh yeah, how do you feel one after leading a major championship? She's like, oh yeah, well, I've done well, but I go home on Monday, so I'm really happy about that. And I was just like, she is like exactly what she said on the interview. Like she just loves being home.
Girl, yeah.
You know what I mean?
She likes going home.
But like thinking about home on Monday when you're in contention to win a major, it's like it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it does make you question like how the mindset is when she's going into that second round.
Exactly.
If she's thinking about going home, yeah. But you know, she's won on tour before, and the way she's playing, she had a really good tournament the week before, tied 14th.
I mean, she's had 2 great weeks, hasn't she?
2 great weeks, yeah. So hopefully the next big win's not round the corner. She did say that was one of her goals. So
Georgia Hall was the highest finishing English lady.
Was she? Yeah. Did she finish above Charlie?
Finished above Charlie. Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, she is a major champion, isn't she?
Exactly, yeah. She's quality.
So another great tournament there, and then we move on to the BMW International Open.
Victor
Hovland. The big boys turn up. The big boys win, don't they?
Here he is, big Victor Hovland there.
We ask for him, and he does deliver.
Making history, didn't he, with that as well? First Norwegian to win on the PGA Tour, first Norwegian to win on the European Tour.
Unbelievable stuff.
Brilliant, isn't it?
But yeah, and he's not stopping, is he? What impressed me the most, and I'm sure you'll have an opinion on this, is his last shot into 18. 1 shot lead, 5 wood into that green, and he goes for it. And what?
Well, see, you're probably thinking I'm going to say, well done, stone to steel. He should be going for it.
Considering last week you were crucifying Louis Oosthuizen.
I'm the other way with him. Louis Oosthuizen had nothing to lose apart from coming second or third in a major, whatever, and he had everything to gain. Well, but he had everything to gain, and he comes second anyway. So he had everything to gain by going for that green. Hovland had everything to lose.
Yeah, good
He
shot.
had a 1 shot lead. He's hitting 5 wood. He could lay up, get your par. You still win by 1. Like he went.
But that's the winning mentality.
No, exactly.
That's why,
which is boss.
At the age of 23, he's already won 3 times, twice on the PGA Tour, and now once on the European Tour, because he's got that mentality where he's like, no, I'm going to go for it.
No, that's what I mean. Obviously, the bad shot's not actually in his mind, and if it did come, and he's probably got that mindset where if it did come to it, and it was him as the Oosthuizen going into the 18th of the US Open, he's going for it.
He's going for it, yeah. But we had a similar scenario on the European Tour a couple of weeks back, didn't we? With the
Van
Drilo, yeah. And he never went for it. He was only 200, that wasn't he? And he laid up short.
220, and long was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I just don't get that.
Yeah.
But with Hovland, I think he should have just laid up.
The opposite, yeah. Can't win with you, can we?
He had everything to lose, man.
Well, fair play to Keimer for applying the pressure. 64. I think by the time Keimer had finished, Hovland was on the 13th. And Hovland said, because Keimer waited for him to see the embrace at the end. And they were having a chat about it. And he was like, oh, I heard the roll. What was your putt like on 18? He's like, about 8 foot, 10 foot, I hold it. And I heard the roll. He took a look at the leaderboard and he was like, oh, I'm tired for the lead with Keimer here. So fair play to Hovland for grinding it out because he wasn't playing.
Maybe is it with Hovland's mentality is because he birdied 16, he bogeyed 17, didn't he, with 3 putt? Yeah. And he's probably just thinking, I need birdie to win.
Yeah.
Just the mentality of golfers at that level is just unreal.
I think that separates the. He's going to be a future major champion without a doubt. His mentality, the way he goes about it, and his golf game. And
would you say he's a Ryder Cup contender?
I think he's already in the Ryder Cup team. Like he's penciled in regardless. Yeah. But he mentioned afterwards that his next tournament now is the Open, and he's cemented his place already in the Olympics, and now he's pretty much certain for the Ryder Cup. So it's a good space to be in going back home after not being home for so long.
He's not playing the Scottish, isn't he?
Well, maybe it's just I don't know why that would be. Yeah, I mean, you think
Rolex event, you think British Open prep.
There's links golf in Norway, isn't there? I suppose, so he could probably get his practice over there, and he probably just wants to chill. Yeah, while he's over here anyway, so he's acclimatizing to the time difference and stuff. It's not like he's traveling back.
And I suppose money's probably not really the biggest thing on his mind, is it?
Definitely not. No, not the way he's playing. He's absolutely smashing it, isn't he?
That's it.
But we were worried about whether he played, didn't we, with the eye incident with the sand in the eye, and then he turns up and wins. It's just like, fair play to the lad.
Probably a bit of hypochondriac on it the week before. Pulling himself out with a bit of sand in his eye.
Get over to Germany.
All post on Instagram with his patch in there.
A couple of shout outs for the lads playing this week. Matty Baldwin shot 9 under. He finished tied 26th.
Great effort.
And he's come on his Twitter and said that's given him the kick that he needed to get back on the main tour, enjoying himself, making cuts on the European tour.
Well, he did say that, didn't he? He said that when on the podcast, he said, I'm not where I think I should be or where I'd like to be, but I will get back there. So, nice to see him actually playing European Tour, because he took a step back to challenge, didn't he, the week before?
Well, he hasn't got a European Tour card, has he? Yeah. No, he's got a
challenge. I thought he chose the challenge the week before.
No, he's got some European Tour stars, which is this one, and then he's playing primarily Challenge Tour. So I think it's similar to Ewan Ferguson. Ewan Ferguson's got a bit of a better category than Baldwin, but similar situation. They've got a choice to make. Do we play Challenge and try and finish top 15 and get me cards, or do I play European Tour and try and get enough money to stay in to get me cards? So it's trying to find that balance, because obviously if you get an invite to the European Tour, it must be difficult to turn them down.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. But one other, obviously, alumni on the podcast I want to speak about, Richard Mansell. He shot 7 under. He birdied the last on Friday to make the cut.
Wonder if Connor looked at him and said, "You need a birdie," like he says in his interview.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah. So he finished tied 37, but afterwards he on his Twitter feed, he's come out and he said that his putt has let him down this season, but obviously the rest of his game is where he wants it to be. He's hitting it well, and he thinks when he puts it all together, it's going to be special. So I decided to have a little look at his statistics just to see.
Stat man back again.
Bit of a stat man, yeah. You know, you've got me motivated for the stats again.
Like it.
So he's 12th in greens in regulation for the week, hit 75%, which is the same percentage as Korda we spoke about before for the season. So it puts that into perspective. And to put that into perspective even more, he hit more greens than Hovland for the week. So we had more birdie chances, but finished 10 shots behind him. So I looked a bit further distance compared to Hovland, done a bit of compare and contrast. So for the week, Hovland was 309 yards on the average. Mansell was 308. So it looks as though... What?
Which is nothing.
Just a little pap down there.
No, I mean between them.
Oh, nothing between them. Yeah, I thought you meant nothing distance.
It's good, it like.
Struggle to get there in 2, mate.
Yeah.
But then the big one for me was the strokes gained putting. So Hovland first in strokes gained, you'd see he's going to be somewhere if he's winning tournaments.
Of course, yeah.
But do you know where Mansell was for strokes gained on his putting?
Got to be outside the top 50.
105th.
Not good enough, is it?
Well, yeah, by his own accord as well. So he knows that the putting, but it just shows
It's all about your putting.
Tee to green there.
You can hit every green, and if you have 2 putts a hole around, you're going to be nowhere.
You're missing cut, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, but I just think he's looking at the statistics. There was not much coverage of Mansell, so I didn't see how he played. But reading between the lines and looking at the stats, he's played just as well as the winner there.
No, yeah, well, 1,000,000%.
Knock a few more putts in. So I'm excited to see how he does, and obviously wishing the best of luck. He's playing Open Qualifying tomorrow. So
Hollandwell, isn't it?
Hollandwell, yeah. So we'll see how they go. But no, again, unbelievable week of golf. We keep getting tournament after tournament, don't we?
That's great, isn't it? There's a boss little stretch coming up as well, isn't it? We're going to come on to.
It's going to come on to. You've got the Irish, the Scottish, and the Open, but moves us nicely onto that time again. Birdie Bogey Bust.
Birdie Bogey Bust time.
It's that time again, y'all. The Birdie Bogey Bust. The Birdie Bogey Bust. Birdie Bogey Bust.
I always forget about that tune because when we usually do it, you clip it in after, don't you?
What's your birdie, mate?
My birdie is we should be pundits. Us. Like we've called the winner the last 3 weeks.
I know.
I had Harris English this week in the order of merit. You had John Ram last week, and then I had Caddie Kickout the week before.
Unbelievable.
We should be pundits.
We should be pundits.
Tell you who should be a pundit, Danny Jones. He should be. I texted saying like, "What are you? What do you do? Like, how are you?
Too much time on his hands.
300 points ahead of me.
I know.
In the order of merit. Like,
well, what are you ahead of me now? Do we know?
Not much, you know. I had two. You give me 2 points this week. I'm sure you dock me.
Steward's inquiry there on the leaderboard.
I've had a winner. I've picked the winner the last 3 weeks, and I've had like 13 points.
Well, the way it works is if you've had 3 missed cuts and 1 winner, so that cancels it out. Yeah. So if you put 1 wins and the other 3 missed the cut, you end up with 0 points. But you got 2 points because one of your players got bonus points.
Don't be giving me bonus points. 1 bonus point. But I think my bust for in a couple of weeks is going to be the point system needs changing. Our own one that we made.
Yeah, that's it.
What's your birdie, brother?
I don't know if you've seen it. Bubba Watson and his caddy repairing pitch marks for Jason Day. We know obviously Day's been struggling with his back big time, hasn't he?
Yeah. I wonder is that what it was?
Yeah, so they're playing together. And I just think that's a good touch. I know we speak about all the time, don't we? The Brooks and Bryson thing, and how obviously you don't like it, I like it. I think it's good for the game.
I'd like it if it's real, but I think it's a bit fake. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. We'll come on to Brooks in a minute for my bust, but I just think that's good for the size of the game. But then this is also good for a balance.
That's boss.
You know, to give a good balance. Obviously, we spoke last week about the talk on mental health, and it's getting talked about more just because Wolf's come out and said something. Then we've got the ladies on the LPJ talking about it now as well. So it's great for the game. It's great for just mental health in general.
No, it's boss, yeah.
Obviously just seeing that he's struggling with his back and he's going doing his pitch marks, just thought that was great to see. And in addition to that as well, when we're talking about obviously the camaraderie with players in the playoff, English and Hickok, like when a good shot was given, thumbs up, good shot, and after the second playoff hole, he fist pumped to say, "Come on, let's go and do it again." And it was just a good relationship.
They're probably good mates, aren't they? Around about the same sort of like level, like always round each other, like same age.
This is it. Yeah. So that was me birdie for the week. It's just
that's boss.
The other side to the game when we talk Brooks and Bryson. This is the other side to it, which gives a good balance, I think.
But look, see, they're getting a bit of an applaud with that view, but they're not going to get no attention on social media for that. So they're not getting anywhere near that 8 million. They would have more of the 8 million if they'd had a fight. No, like really, that's the way it is.
It's the problem with social media, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not complaining. No, we're going live on it.
Yeah.
What's your bogey?
My bogey is the rules of golf again.
Oh God, here we go. What's happening now?
So on the sixth hole the other day, the referee come up to us, didn't he? Yeah. And was like, "You're 5 minutes behind schedule, guys. This is an official warning."
Yeah.
So
on the clock,
if you're allowed an allotted 3 minutes to look for your ball, and you look for the ball on every hole, surely you're going to be 3 minutes per hole behind your schedule, aren't you? If you're looking.
Yeah.
So what constitutes as the time you're meant to be there if you're looking for balls all the time?
The rough was. I know the rough was cut down just off the fairway, but people don't hit straight shots all the time, so you hit it just a bit off, like you did for the first 6 holes. We're looking for
exactly. No, really, though. Like, you hit 3 off the tee or whatever. Like, it is.
It makes a difference. It does make a difference.
And it happened to Fassi as well on the LPGA tour. She got a 2-shot penalty, but she was helped.
Did, yeah.
But it was like looking for a playing partner's balls. And
so what do we do to change that then? What needs to change?
I just think if you're looking for balls for 3 minutes, I think it should just get added on.
So yeah.
So you get an extra 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not like you're taking the piss over the shot, is it? Or looking like, going back to your bag or reading the green or and ahhing with your caddy. You're looking for balls.
The problem is as well is if you don't think you're going to lose the ball and you don't, it's a provisional. It's the walk.
Then you're back to the thing,
well.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah. No, I agree.
But like you've got the RNA fella coming out to us there as if like they've got the spotters on every hole, but the spotter was half a kip when he was and he was like, "Oh, well, I heard something." I was like, "What are you up to?" That's the point in you.
Moving on to my bogey.
Yeah, go on.
The green books again. So we brought the conversation up, didn't we, last
week? Could have done with one of them on phone Saturday. You were shite.
So there's news coming out now that they're going to ban the green books that are available now because of what's in them, but then you can create your own green book.
So you can go and make the lines.
So Faldo made a good point on the commentary to say, well, how are you going to police that? Surely they can just copy and paste it into a yardage book for each of the courses and then just have that ready. And then each time they go and play that course, copy and paste it again. Oh, it's a pain in the ass for the caddy having to do all that work, but it's not going to take the green books away.
No, exactly, yeah.
You're still going to have an element of a green book. So now they're saying ban the green book, but now they're saying, oh no, just ban the green books that are available now. All you're doing is taking business off these people who've worked hard to get this formula to sell them. It's
the RNA noise to be heard again.
Yeah, USGA. Yeah.
Whoever.
The rules. So yeah, it's another rules of golf one.
People.
What's your bust?
My bust is just the mental side of golf, like my mental game for the start.
Yeah.
And just how can it make you feel so nervous?
I know.
Like, how can you be that? But you were like, remember I showed you, man. I was like that. I was like, what's going on?
You're quite a fast player, so and I noticed this on the first hole. You took it felt like 5 minutes. That's probably why we were 5 minutes behind.
Honestly,
you took 5 minutes.
I was standing over it, but you know what happened? You usually just take it away a little bit, and it just smooths along the grass. It snagged on something, and I was like, "Oh, please don't! Oh, please don't!" I didn't know what to do, so I was like,
there was two things in my mind. I was like, do not snap up this out of bounds, and do not like fat it and duck it in front of you.
Yeah.
Just do not do any of them too. And the fact that it is at far right was fine because it was airborne and it was okay.
I was you know what? I was looking at the two and thinking, this is getting smaller. This head. I was going to go back and get me driver.
But going back, that's one thing that impressed me about John when we played with him. John qualified as driver off Everton. He trusted it.
Yeah, but he owns the Crosby plate, doesn't he? He keeps the Crosby plate in his.
He does, to be fair, yeah. Some boy, isn't he?
Yeah, like he knows how to play that course.
No, but yeah, it's all a learning experience. I mean, look, how long's Bubba been playing? Bubba's a multiple champion on the tour, 3 times at that event. He knows the course inside out. Yeah, he's comfortable around there, and then look what happened to him. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So my bust, just to finish the birdie bogey bust for this week, is Brooks Koepka.
What about him?
Keeps going on about how he struggles to adapt to the regular PGA Tour events. And I just think, like, there's only 4 majors in a year. Surely the other 20, 30 tournaments that you play every year. You can't not get up for every single one.
Well, I was
he won
thinking,
the Phoenix.
If he's not up for them, he's not bothered about them. He should just, like Tiger said, he only cared about the majors, really. He picked the other ones up as he went. He should really be winning more than, shouldn't he?
Well, I think, care.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, care about... Like, Tiger still went to win them tournaments, though. It seems to me as though Brooks is saying, I can't get up for them. Like, that's why I'm not winning them.
Yeah, no.
I just don't...
I think it could be a bit of mind games, that, couldn't it?
Maybe.
He obviously cares, doesn't he? Like...
But he's making out as he doesn't, and that's me bust, because he's
It's
making
not
out.
that he doesn't care. He's saying he can't get psyched up for them. But I think maybe having the crowd not there and like limited capacity, I think it's like sometimes you watch it on TV and it is flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas like the bigger ones, like the one he won, has got the stadium all and
waste management.
And then do you know what I mean? He's chipping in on 17. He went and won it. Like that's a bit of electricity. What he needs.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is, yeah. Maybe that's what I needed on the first tee.
30 deep.
Yeah. I was saying if there was a crowd there, we'll just pick me ball up, and just got off.
What a day. But no, birdie bogey bust done for the week.
Yeah.
Moves us nicely onto a very controversial 1991 Ryder Cup.
Yeah, the war on the shore.
Yeah, Kiawah Island.
Yeah, should be fresh in all the listeners' minds, really, shouldn't it?
Well, this was the first Ryder Cup to be televised for the whole 3 days. This one.
You
know what I mean? So you've got the biggest controversy since it started.
When it's on. So it's the mental game. It's the pressure of golf.
Well, they talk on this one about this, for better or for worse, being the start of the Ryder Cup as it is today because of everything that went on there. So they say it was like a tense and controversial event because for the first instance, they've called it the war on the shore.
Yeah.
So
was that named after it or before?
No, that was the lead up to it.
Ah, right.
They called it the war on the shore.
See, that's all just Americanizing the whole event, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what, because it was televised and it was more like the broadcasters and trying to promote it as this big event. And I think that's now why they're
trying to get people outside the golf to watch that.
Yeah, I think and it's worked. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it has worked.
Yeah.
So before the event started, they obviously do the gala dinner, don't they?
Yeah.
So what they did was they done the big gala dinner and they played a 5-minute highlight film for the Europeans, and then when it was time to play the highlight reel for the American team, it went on for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was like the start of trying to get a bit of things going. Like,
well, you can tell the Americans are still at that coverage now. Like you see 4 seconds of Tommy in tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get nothing.
Keep them off the screen. Yeah. And then in addition to that, before we come on to how the actual tournament went on, one of the limos crashed. Was in an accident.
I read about that.
Was going home. Yeah. And one of the players got injured because of it. Now that injury meant that. When it come to the singles match, David Guilford, who was a rookie for the European team, couldn't play his singles match, and he just decided that was going to be a half.
Who decides that? Surely they should just let him play if he's there.
Yeah.
But don't they have a spare?
No, didn't have one because he withdrew on the day, so he was too injured to go out and play.
Because what was that thing with the envelope?
If they withdraw before the tournament, you can bring somebody else on. But he didn't withdraw before the tournament. He played and then withdrew for the singles match.
Ah, I see.
So then Guilford couldn't play his singles match. So then that game, it was agreed that was half. There was controversy to say, well, he's played a couple of matches already, so surely he is okay to play.
No, of course, yeah.
And then they got the half point, and then the game finished.
It's just like him missing his tea time, isn't it?
A little bit different.
Like if I had a limo crash on the way to the Lancashire Amateur, would I have got a spot or what?
Just giving a 72 going to the next day. Yeah. But no, it was backwards and forwards, and obviously you know the story of Seve with the balls, don't you? So
what were he changing the compressions?
Yeah.
Well, don't you really talking too much smack about Seve, to be honest? Because there's another segment coming up in a minute.
I would never talk smack about Seve. I love him. My favourite players. But no, Seve and Ollie took on Azinger and Chip Beck. And then there was a bit of confrontation on that when we're getting into the game now. Because they were using a certain ball for some holes and certain ball for another hole because of the compression. That was a big no-no. I
know what you're saying about. I'm not saying don't talk smack about Seve, but Seve was definitely at that as well.
Yeah,
money
in the tournaments.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know whether it was a no-no, as in to say it's a gentleman's game. Don't do that. Play the ball that you're going to play and play it fair, or whether it was an actual rule. Because if it was an actual rule and they were doing it, surely they would have got disqualified and lost the point. I didn't look into that, but I know there was. I watched the clip from this Ryder Cup, and they were having a go with each other. And Azinger actually says, "Yeah, I did change it," but I think it was just more of as part of the game.
Right. Well, I know I was speaking to David about this because he said to me, "What ball are you using?" I was like, "Whatever's in my bag." Do you know what I mean? It's a 1 ball rule. I was like, "Oh yeah." And then I remember this fella, John Mason, told me that it all come about because of Seve in the Ryder Cup. So it was changed then. But David reckons that since he was doing his PJ that they've just brought out the 1 ball rule.
The 1 ball rule? Yeah, maybe they have changed that because of this. Because maybe it wasn't a rule. If it was a rule and you had to use 1 ball and you couldn't change it because of wind in your face, winds, or
so if you're into wind, it's a distance ball, and if you're down the wind, it's something softer.
Or if you've got a shorter par 3 and you want a more of a spinner ball or less spinning ball, so you can get certain distances. So that was part of the controversy. There was kickoffs over that, and then it ended with the Americans winning 14.5 to 13.5. So you take that half a point into consideration from the game that couldn't get played, and then there's the controversy with the balls, and then in addition to that, there was a match with Woosnam and Paul Broadhurst. They went on to beat Hale Irwin and Paul Azinger, and then Broadhurst went on to beat Mark O'Meara in the singles 3-1, and then
Mark O'Meara had that meltdown on 17 where he hit into the water.
Yeah. Well, this is Calcavecchia who had the meltdown.
Okay, yeah.
Mark Calcavecchia, yeah. So Calcavecchia was then playing Monty in the singles, and it was going into the singles, it was a tie. So Monty is playing Calcavecchia, and Calcavecchia is 5 up with 5 to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's 5 up with 5 to play, and then he loses a couple of holes. And then on 17, Monty hits it in the water. And in the interview afterwards, Monty's like, that's it. I think the game's over. And then Calcavecchia does like a top shank, and it's like a skimmer right along the water. Monty knocks us onto the green, 2 putts makes a 5, and Calcavecchia hits his putt, and he's like 2 foot away. And Monty was like, I was just about to give him it, and I decided, no, I'm not going to give him it. And he goes on to miss it. And then Monty gets him down 18 and beats him down 18. So then
he obviously, like, it was a bad error by him and it's a personal woe or whatever, but he's a bit of a baby about it, wasn't he? Afterwards.
Crying his eyes out.
Confusing Calcavecchia and O'Meara there, yeah. But, well, he didn't join the team for the celebrations afterwards.
No, he went and got really upset over it. Yeah, went to the beach and got really upset. People were trying to console him, say, look, we've won the Ryder Cup, and he's like, I can't believe I've just done that. And it really hit him. Do you know what I mean? Similar to you when you come off.
When I had a cry.
I'm like, come on, let's go and have a pint. And you're like, no, I can't handle golf anymore.
Oh, no, you can give up.
But then obviously the way it finished was unreal as well. Langer had a putt 10 foot on 18 to tie it at 14 apiece. And if he would have held it, obviously, because it was Europe's Ryder Cup, because they drew the last one and won the one previous, they would have retained it, and he missed the putt.
But so all that, it shouldn't have even come to that when you looking back there, should it?
Well, this is why it's so controversial, and that's where the fans as well played a massive part, because the American fans with like all the chanting started at this point, USA, and the European fans there were singing like the football style songs they were saying. So it's sort of this Ryder Cup that was televised, that was it was advertised as a war on the shore. There was controversy beforehand, there was controversy while it was happening, the fans were getting involved. I think that this one seems to me as though it was the catalyst for what we see today.
Yeah, for like the Ryder Cup being the Ryder Cup.
The Ryder Cup being the Ryder Cup, yeah. So, I watched quite a few clips on this, because when I was reading about it, I was thinking, do you know what? I need to watch this one. Obviously, only just born at this time, so
it's another story of the rookies as well, because the Europe have brought 5 rookies and USA have brought 3. Whereas the last couple that Europe have won, there's been less rookies, been more experienced, the same sort of team. So it just shows you again that experience does pay off, doesn't it?
Pay dividends, yeah, definitely. But now another good Ryder Cup. Now brings us nicely onto our newest segment, doesn't it? Anyone that's been following our pod since the beginning will know that we've done a generational GOAT debate, didn't we, Kev?
We did. Every
10 years, we picked 2 players, and then obviously you picked one, I had one, and then we just give the statistics and we picked a winner. Thanks to Mikey McHugh, another shout out for Mikey.
Well, you got one bad shout out, one good shout out.
One good shout out, yeah, makes up for it. Got the Geographical GOAT debate now, so anyone who follows us on the social media will see that we've gone for Spain.
Well, people were messaging in saying, "What about Seve? What about Varden? What about this?" And we were like, "Well, we didn't do them. What about player? What about so we like?
There's only so many.
There's only so many we do. So now, if we do, we're going to start with Spain, and we're going to do Seve versus Sergio. And a lot of people were messaging in as well saying that they should have done Ram, but
he hasn't really got that.
He hasn't got, that's what I mean.
He hasn't got GOAT status yet, has he?
No.
He's unbelievable and he's won what he's won, but he's just getting started. He's got the ability to be the best.
No, he
ever.
will. No, definitely.
So,
100%.
But we'll definitely see who's the best from this perspective as well. So do you want to go first or do you want me to
I'll
go?
go first, yeah. I'll go first. Severiano Ballesteros Sota was born, obviously, in Spain, in Pedrina, Spain, 1957, and he was the youngest of 5 sons. Did you know that?
No.
So his dad had 5 kids, 1 died in childhood, and all the others went on to become professional golfers.
Did they?
Yeah. So Seve got a 3-iron given to him off his older brother, Manuel.
Yeah.
And that's where you always get the stories about Seve playing the shots, and he used to go onto the beach and play.
I was going to say off the sand.
Yeah. And Manuel Ballesteros finished the top 100 on the European Tour Order of Merit every year from 1972 to 1983. So he was obviously a player as well in his own right.
So you don't know much about him.
No, that's what I mean, yeah.
Much about him, no?
And then he become Seve's Ballesteros' manager, and his other 2 brothers, Vicente and Baldomero, were also pros, but never got anywhere near the level of obviously them 2. Yeah. He turned pro 1974, age 16, and burst on the scene 1976, and finished second at the Open at Birkdale, and he was leading after the 3rd round. So he flew onto the scene. Yeah. He's been the world number 1 on and off over a couple of years period for 61 weeks, which is no mean feat, is it?
Solid effort, yeah.
Then he had a bit of beef when he went over to the PGA Tour. Remember we spoke about it in one of the one of the Ryder Cups, was it?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
He went over in 1983, and in the 1984 season he played 15 tournaments, which is the minimal allowed for a golfer with a part-time membership. And then the following season he only played 9 tournaments. And then he was subsequently suspended by the PGA Tour for failing to meet his commitment.
Well, yeah.
And wasn't that it was about the money, wasn't it?
We spoke about it in the Ryder Cup segment, yeah, because he missed out on one. And it was because they were giving money over to your likes of your Lee Trevinos to come over and play on the European Tour. And Seve was like, I'm the household name on the European Tour. I want to get paid for it. And there was a bit of an argument over that. And it led to Seve
jibbing it.
Yeah, going and
so he just did. That's why he didn't play, and then they suspended him.
Yeah, and then they suspended him. Yeah.
So obviously, before we get on to what he's won on his stats, just to sway the vote my way, a few little boss stories. There's a story in the 1990s that Seve, with his coach Mark O'Grady, went out and buried his clubs in the Arizona desert, saying that he was burying his clubs and he was rebuilding a fresh start and all on a fresh note, and he was coming back, and that's what he was going to do. And then in 2006, Seve got speaking to a reporter, and he said it never happened. It was just a publicity stunt to get the press off our backs that they made up. So because they were talking about the new coach, they made this whole thing up so that the press would run with that, so then they could just chill and work on what they were doing. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I was like, "Goat!"
Brilliant.
Straight away. And then
can't argue.
When he's coming down one of the holes, can't remember what tournament it was in, and he needs to make birdie to win, and then he's stuck up against a tree, and there's a hole like a thingy hole in the ground.
What,
and he's
like
a burrow, yeah. But he's like, that's another thing on the rules of golf, burrowing animal. Like what? Like he's like it's a dog hole. Why can't you get a drop? It's something made. It's not part of the course, is it?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the fellas, the rules official who's telling the story, he's looking around and he can't find any like droppings, because usually they have droppings when they're burrowing. And he put his hand under, and it was the most tense part of the tournament. He was there for 20 minutes, and Seve put his hand on his shoulder. He was like, "Watch out, it might bite." Because he had his hand in the hole, like that. He was like, even at that sort of tense moment, Seve's still cracking jokes.
When you compare that to Bryson now, and he's saying there's rabbit droppings there.
No, there's ants.
Ants, that was it.
I'm in danger or something. Yeah, come on.
Levels.
And another one, when he's playing Nick Price, he says to Billy Foster, his caddy, is any food in the bag? And he gives him a fruitcake, and Seve eats it. And then to top of Price's backswing, he chokes on it, purposely or whatever. But like, no one Seve, it could have been purposely.
One, no?
Yeah, he chokes on it. And then he gets the ref over. He's like, let him play it again. It's in a match play. I don't know if it's in the Ryder Cup, but it's in just a match play anyway. He's like, let him play it again. Let him play it again. And the ref's like, no. And then Price is like, no, look, it didn't put me off. We'll play it. Put it in. He duffed it into a bunker. Chips it out. 10-footer. Seve offers him to half the hole before he goes in the bunker. Offers to half it. Chips out to 10 foot. Billy Foster says, give him that putt. And he goes, no. I offered him once. Now I want to beat him. Seve 2 putts and he misses the putt and he wins the hole. Yeah. So I was just like, oh, that's great. That, you know.
Unbelievable story there.
But so you say that Seve is your favourite player, don't you?
He is, yeah.
So we're going to do a little...
Him and Tiger. It's a good toss-up.
On Seve's achievements here, we're going to do a little quiz to see how much you know about him.
Oh, God.
So
we look like a fraud now, aren't I?
So he's won the European Order of Merit how many times?
6.
Yes. You've defo Googled this, haven't you? You've looked at me notes and Googled
Nothing to do with me there. I'm a big fan.
He was the first European to win the Masters at 23, and then his record was broke by who?
Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Of course.
That was an easy one.
My other favourite one.
How many professional wins did he have, Seve?
64.
50.
50.
Yeah. How many majors did he win?
4.
5. 3 British Opens, 2 at Lytham and 1 at St Andrews, and 2 Masters. And to top all that off, to why he is the geographical GOAT, he stole his Masters jackets.
Did he?
So he's the only person to own the Masters. That when you win the Masters, your jacket stays at Augusta, but he stole both of them.
Did he keep them
He stole
both?
one at the time.
Didn't Caddie Player do that?
The Caddie Player done it as well, yeah.
Brilliant.
He stole one at the time, 1983, when he won it, and then he went back in 2007 at his last Masters and robbed his second Masters jacket.
He's going to be a tough man to beat, definitely.
Gangster.
Right, Sergio Garcia. So he grew up in a small village of about 2,500 people. His home golf course was situated at the top of a mountain in like a valley. It's only 3 miles from his home.
I've played it.
What?
I've played it.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's it like?
We played it on the day after the tournament. Remember the Myerscough used to go?
Is that course?
That's that course, yeah.
Is it,
the Castello Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It was up in the hills.
Nadal plays, isn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Plays with them, yeah. Do you remember that? Is that one?
Yeah, that's that.
I've been there. I didn't play it, though.
No, we played it on the Monday.
Did you play it on the Monday?
Yeah.
I never played it. So, yeah, going back to his small town. So, it's quite a unique little town we've been. So what reason I'm telling that story about obviously the little town and everything is Sergio's father Victor was a former European Tour player himself. He turned to a club pro and he introduced Sergio to the game, obviously, and that was the course where he was the club pro. But Sergio's mother used to work in the shop as well. While he was giving lessons, his mum would work in the shop and Sergio would just play and his dad would teach him. And obviously destined to be a star. He won his club championship at the age of 12, beating all the adults.
12?
Gross, yeah. And that was the same age that he first beat his dad. And his dad, Victor, came out in an interview and said that that was the time I knew he was going to be like a superstar as such. Yeah. He burst onto the scene, 15 years old, becoming the youngest ever player to make a cut on the European Tour. Then in 1999, he won his first professional event, just age 19, in his 6th start.
Sick.
And then later that year, do you remember the PJ Championship?
Yeah,
with
Tiger, when he hits that shot, he runs out,
runs up the hill. Yeah, so obviously, destined. He's him. We always know, don't we? Him and Tiger. We thought that was going to be the.
They had like a little bit of a not beef, but a little bit.
It was a good rivalry one. I mean, after that tournament to finish, you see them embracing, the hug and that. But I think from there, like Tiger just went to another levels, didn't he? So
you think.
I think so, yeah. 2000 was quite a good year, I think. 2 years later, then, age 21, he wins his first PGA Tour victory at Colonial. He beats Phil Mickelson there. And obviously then, you've got to remember, at this stage in his career, he's going head-to-head with Tiger Woods. So, take Tiger Woods out the equation, then potentially he's one of the best ever.
All right. All right.
Is that winning my argument? No. Unfortunately, then, over the next 7 years to 2008, although we spent time in the world's top 10, he went through a bit of a bad patch and didn't win. But he did then win at the 2008 Players.
Yeah, that was
his biggest win to date. And then from 2008 again, he took another dip in form, and then didn't win nothing until the 2012 Wyndham Championship. So
I know they're meant to be. It's the GOAT debate. We're meant to be big in Sergio, but it's his putting in it that's let him down his whole life,
career,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's always
eyes closed, different grips, looking at the whole. He's tried everything, hasn't he?
The pressure. Yeah. One thing I will say about him, though, he's stuck around because,
%, yeah.
Considering what he's done, he spent a total of 450 weeks in the top 10 in his career. Never reached world number 1. He's won a total of 36 international tournaments as a professional. He's the highest Ryder Cup point scorer in history, with 25.5 points in 9 Ryder Cups. And after his win last year at the Sanderson Farms, that now means he's won a PGA Tour event in a total of 3 decades.
Sick, that.
And to add to all that, he's also won the 2017 Masters.
No, it's boss.
So
no, he's a sick man, isn't he? But he's no Seve, is
he? He is no Seve. I've got to give you that one. I think we put the vote out previous, and everyone was saying
said Seve. Yeah.
It's a difficult one because as much as Sergio could have challenged Seve, it was just putting that let him down. Yeah. Whereas Seve was the opposite. Seve was a magician, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Everything about his short game was unreal.
Maybe you should have saved Sergio for the nearly GOAT debate then.
Maybe next time.
Do you know you're talking about that tournament that we played in the Castellón Masters in Spain?
Yeah.
Well, Nadal come over and then Fanny Sudas, remember her, Stenson's caddy, who was on Faldo's bag. She got ill, and then they said, "Does anyone want a caddy for Stenson?" And I was like, "I'll caddy for Stenson." That's got, do you know what I mean? Buzzing. And then they said, Nadal's coming now. Does anyone want a caddy for Nadal? And I was like, I'll caddy for Nadal. Does anyone want Stenson? So I give up Stenson, took Nadal's, and then we were walking, and then he come late in a helicopter.
You give up Stenson's bag?
Yeah.
You joking?
And then Nadal came in a helicopter straight away. I had him buzzing. I was like, Rafa, how are you late? There's no traffic up there, man. And he's like, ha, laughing at that. So I was like, lovely, this, got him on side, having a little buzz with Rafael Nadal at the time, thinking, what is going on? This is unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? And then on like the 4th hole or 5th hole, Sergio's dad just came and like stood in my way and like took his bag. He had a power caddy, took his power caddy and just like walked off with the bag. And I was like, what the fuck?
Stole Nadal's bag off you?
Yeah.
No
and then
way.
He's like, you can stay, and I could stay inside the ropes, like, but I just had to like watch for a bit. I was like, what? And then Nadal,
is that why you didn't want Sergio? You wanted Seve?
Yeah. And then Nadal was saying, he's like, I'll sort you out at the end with a bit of money or whatever. And then there was that many people at the end that he ran and jumped into a helicopter.
So you didn't get paid?
No. So Nadal owes me money if you see him.
That's unbelievable. I've never heard that story
before.
Never
heard that, no.
I mustn't have been there that year when you went.
No, that was 2004 or 2005.
No, I come the year later, didn't I?
Do you know what? I've still actually got Sergio's signed glove and his ball. I always carry it in my bag.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sick.
Great story. No, that's boss, that.
It was boss, yeah. So if you
who owes you money, Victor?
Victor owes me something and Nadal owes me at least €50.
That's the worst case scenario, that, giving up Stenson's bag.
I know.
And then getting Nadal's bag taken off you. Well. Right, some golf to review this week. We've got 2 tournaments to review. We'll go for the Rocket Mortgage Open first, because we're going to do our picks on the Irish Open and the European Tour this week.
Do you reckon this Rocket Mortgages were called something else before DeChambeau won, and then they called it Rocket because DeChambeau's Rockets? Or was it always that?
It's always that. But it's only its third edition as this tournament at the Detroit Golf Club. It's a par 72, 7,370 yards. So
big undies, that.
I don't know, the scorings. It's scorings. It's a par 72, remember? So that's not really that big.
You can't just slap an extra 300 yards on and give an extra shot to it.
Yeah,
I suppose you can. Actually, it's only one drive, isn't it?
Interesting story, and what I think is the standout story of this whole tournament, 63-year-old Jeff Roth. He's a PGA professional. He's going to be playing in the field. He's a PGA professional, as I said, there from Michigan. So each year they do the Michigan PGA Professional Championship.
Right,
and the winner of that tournament gets a start in this event. So he won it back in 2019. But then last year, they said, no, there's no exemptions this year. It's just players on the tour getting in. So that meant he lost his space. But then there was a big vote around it and said, no, look, we need Jeff Roth to play 63 years old. Do you know how many times he's won as a professional?
No, never even heard of him.
No, 70 times he's won.
Has he?
Yes.
What, like Shaq Lady, like all like
I
different
think he's
little
the American Shaq Lady. Yeah.
Sick. Let's get him on. Let's get him on.
Unbelievable, yeah. So he's a member of the Michigan Hall of Fame after winning 70 professional
course, as you
tournaments,
would.
it says, yeah,
As you
unbelievable. But like you mentioned there, defending champ Bryson DeChambeau.
Finished strong last year as well, didn't he? If I remember rightly.
Well, this is his first win after he came back after lockdown. 40
when he had
pounds heavier,
his
yeah.
big bulk up.
This is the big one. Thinking, how's he going to perform? And he came and he won this. Finished birdie. Shoot 23 under par. The cut was 4 under last year. So
23 under par, and there's that sort of length. Mad, that, isn't it?
I think. Well, when looking at the course, it's very tree line, front line, but back line is just wide open. So it's just a bomb and a chip, and I think that's suited Bryson perfect, and probably why he's decided to play again, given the schedule that's coming up.
Well, if he's defending champ, it's like you'd sort of got to, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, he's got to turn.
Can't be going playing the Irish Open, can you? Like,
that's someone else out there. Yeah. Got to give it a go. Yeah.
But that's it. No, but there's a good field, though, isn't it? Looking at it,
very good. Yeah, some other notables in the field. Matsuyama's there, isn't he?
Yeah, big Ricky Fowler.
He needs
big
a win,
Phil.
doesn't he? Yeah,
Ricky Fowler. He could do with a win.
Definitely do with a win. Yeah.
Is he in the Open? Fowler. We have to look at that. We have to look into that.
Is he in the Open? I'm not sure. You know,
so
I'm not sure whether he is.
If he wins, he gets in the Open.
He's come over to. Yeah. If he wins, yeah. I think he's coming over for the Scottish Open, and I think he's the top 10 in the Scottish Open who haven't already qualified to get into the Open. So
that's his way in.
That's his last chance, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not coming over for final qualifying at West Lancashire tomorrow. No, with Charles.
Well, he did do qualifying for the US Open, didn't he? That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
He did indeed. Yeah, but with the restrictions and that, you're not going to get many of them over there. No. But Kramer Hickok as well. Be interesting to see how he gets on after this disappointment, whether he lets that go and he can just continue with his form, because he's hitting it well, isn't he?
Well, you see these people come second, like, and they, like, Finau, where's Finau gone? Has he stopped playing? I haven't seen his name on the leaderboard.
He seems to be struggling, doesn't he?
I know.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling a lot. And then Phil Mickelson, he's making his debut here in the tournament. So it is a stacked field. I'm looking forward to watching it. I like the birdie fests. Not all the time, but I like the birdie fests. Like, it seems like a bit of a Northern Trust type tournament this way.
You could get 30s out of it.
You can get 30s out of it.
With that length, though, I hope so, because that's good entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. No, looking forward to it. And then the only other tournament, then the main event.
Well, the main event, because you've switched the pots up, haven't you?
My decision for it to be the main event, like, I'm not going to lie.
For anyone wondering, when we're posting the pots, Loco's moved it to the European Tour this week.
With reason, no.
With good reason, but...
With reason. We've got...
With no warning.
Just an executive decision being made. We've got the Dubai Duty Free Irish Open this week, and then we've got Scottish Open, and then we've got the Open. So I think it's good to just do a triple event.
No, it is. No,
it's good. To the Open, boss. We've got all the superstars coming over. In particular, Rory's coming home, isn't he? Shane Lowry's coming home. Tommy's there. Keimer, after his runner-up last week, he's there as well. And we've got Richard Bland and Marcus Armitage back after their efforts on the US Open, and then all the other regulars are there as well. Yeah, sick. The Mount Juliet Estate in Thomastown, Kilkenny. Yeah. My granddad's from Kilkenny. Is he? Yeah. Funnily enough, just a random one in there for you. Yeah. What do you want to say about that? Say well done. Well done. 7,250 yards, so it's a lot shorter, isn't it? But again, prize fund, European Tour prize fund again, doing us in. Well, what's interesting on this one is €3 million is the purse on this one. But 2 years ago, when John Ram won in 2019, and he won in 17 as well. This was a Rolex Series event. Yeah, 7 million. I was wondering why there was 7 million. Yeah. So I don't know the reason. I can't remember the reason why that's been taken off. But this is going to be a bit more of a test. This probably why he hasn't bothered, isn't it? Like, I'm thinking, I've just won a couple of million. We're not going to play for 100 grand. He's still hungover, I think. Yeah, definitely. Definitely still hungover. I hope he is. I hope he is too. Yeah. Last year's winner, John Catlin, come from out of nowhere, which was interesting because John Ram done the same. Catlin shot a 64 and had to wait a couple of groups to come in before eventually winning. And then Ram done exactly the same. He shot a 62 in the final round in 2019 to claim his victory. So it's it's never over till it's
all
over.
Depends on the weather, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's a big
like
factor.
with these next 3 weeks, it's all weather dependent, isn't it?
And this isn't a link style course. This is an inland course. This if it gets wet.
But I mean, that's what I mean. If it gets wet, if it's the weather in Ireland,
that's
just
7-2
never good, is it?
That 7-2 might as well be 7-5 if it's wet.
Yeah, because pitching, it's just plugging.
It's not going to get no movement at all yet. So it's good to see the guys back on the tour, and then next week we've got the Scottish Open, like we say, and there's a pack field for that because that's a links course and getting ready for the big one at the Open the following week. Yeah. So again, more boss tournaments to look forward to, really.
Right, can't wait to boss watching it. Love when there's 2 boss tournaments, so you can watch the European Tour and then you can get right into the PJ Tour in the night. Like, you know what I mean? It's sick.
And that's why I always say, like, it's good to get the superstars over to the European Tour because it's going to increase the purses because of sponsorship, but it's also going to give you a bit more entertainment because look at Hovland coming over this week and winning. That's what you want to see, and Keimer chasing him. It's like 2 superstars in the game and your eyes are peeled on it then. But then when your eyes are peeled on it, you've got whoever's finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th players that you might not know. You get to watch them and you know, that's how they get a bit of a
But I mean, you feel like Hovland's just like, if he's playing that well, he probably could have won on the PJ Tour, so he's doing himself out of pocket, isn't he?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. But he's never won on the European Tour, so that's a tick.
No, it is a good tick.
Now,
but like, you could have a tick, or you could have like loads of dough. What you want. But moving on to the picks, then the picks. Who you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I went first last time. Go on, let's have your 4.
Well, we've had a good between us the last 3 weeks. We've been going well, and I'm gonna go for Martin Keimer to go one better.
One better, yeah. Part 1, go on.
Pablo Larrazabal, he had a great showing.
He did, yeah. He's doing very well, yeah.
He nearly had the Bogey Boys blessing because we had a little bit of chat with him, didn't we? And then he went out and was flying.
Him,
Marcus Kinhult and Oliver Fisher.
Mr. 59, Oliver Fisher.
Yeah.
Lovely. I've gone for... No, we spoke, didn't we, about like the first 5 events. 4 of them were South African winners.
Oh, yeah.
I've just picked a South African from each pot.
Have you? Yeah? You've gone with a bit of madness. Gone
with a bit of madness, yeah. So
you've dropped the stats.
I have dropped the stats and I've gone for it. Based on the fact that it might be wet, so distance is key. Wilco Nainabar.
Nice.
He's had a good bit of experience over in America now and he's come back. Winner this year on tour, Daniel Van Tonde in pot 2.
Yeah.
Pot 3, Xander Lombard. And then pot 4, Hayden Puteas.
Nice.
So just gone for the South African group in there. So hopefully that'll give me a bit of luck. As long as I don't finish bottom and I can start catching you, I'll be happy.
That's it.
We need to back them this week, though.
Speaking of South Africans, when I was looking at the Open qualifying thing at West Lancashire, there's a South African called Wilco Els. Wonder if that's any relation to...
I've seen that, whether that's Ernie's, yeah, maybe. We'll have a look, fact check that. Not looked that up now?
No, I'd only seen him 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes before we come on.
There we go. We'll find out. That can be one of the fact checks. No, so again, looking forward to it. A bit of a longer podcast than usual. So
it was, yeah.
Thanks for bearing with us. Anyone who's
still
watching
there.
Live.
Could just be me, you and Ian.
But no, we appreciate everyone tuning in. And again, if for those who are not tuning in, you'll get this on the audios every Tuesday.
And I did put out there that it was going to be on YouTube for anyone that was looking on YouTube, but we've had a few technical difficulties again, so we'll get that sorted for next week.
Apologies, yeah. But until next time, as always, enjoy your golf, and we will see you all soon.
Ciao.
The beer cold though? That's for real. In style, you got to celebrate the
You've got to celebrate.
And then so I've seen bits, and I know that you've always got that hat on.
Oh, but look, we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the
season. What are you doing? What's your doing?